want to answer you people those questions so that you don't bother. It doesn't really be a problem to you at the end of this program. The first question is, how many times should a couple and should a husband and wife have sex in a week? How many times? If you are married here, hey, how do I even do this exercise? Oh my God. The Lord help me, oh God. Because I wanted us to be doing exercise here. If you are married, how many times do you have sex in the week? Please don't say it. Don't say it. Don't say it. Now, I will just teach you people that. Now, age bracket. If you observe, you will notice that sex fluctuates with age. If your age is between 20 to 29 years, then you have to have sex 4 times a week. 4 times a week. If your age is 30 to 39, you're going to have sex 3 times a week. If your age is 40 to 50, you're going to have sex 2 times a week. And if you are above 50, you may have sex 1 time or none in a week. You come to a point where in your marriage where sex is no longer a priority, but love is on the increase. Okay? And one thing you will discover in this course is that sex is not only about penetration, it's also about non-penetration. So you can have sex with your wife, with your husband, without necessarily getting into intimacy. Okay? So normally we encourage every child of God who is married and below 50 years to have sex 3 times a week. Also know that there are so many things that actually affect you having sex. If you too much work, you will not have it. Okay? If you have quarrels, you will not have it. You will have it rare. And you can also have sex, but you don't enjoy it. Let's move on. I will talk to you about that. What is the normal duration for good love making between married couples? We're talking about foreplay and sex. Foreplay can move as much as possible, but when it comes to sex, it depends. The duration depends on each couple. There are some couples that I've seen that have sex for 2 minutes. There are some couples that I've seen that have spoken to me, their duration of sex is 5, some 10, some say 30. It's not my cup of tea and Gary, but the duration of sex between you and your spouse should be as long as the both of you are satisfied. Augustine, that thing that you're drawing here like this, you are drawing things on my screen. Okay? Okay. So let me say it again. Never compare your sexual duration with another person or another couple. If somebody comes and say, my husband is an engineer, he fires for 20 minutes, don't listen to that as a married person. Because if you are not careful, you will begin to crave for that. And if your husband is a 5-minute man or a 2-minute man, you will begin to crave for additional satisfaction. And before you see, you are out of your marriage context. But if your husband goes only for 3 minutes, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, is okay. We can just consult somebody who is a marriage counselor so that we can tell you other ways. But here I'm going to tell you those things, okay, so that we don't destroy our marriages because our spouse was not on top form on bed and stuff like that. It doesn't help us. Do I have to give sex to my husband every time he asks? The answer is it depends. If you are okay, then let your husband have the sex. If you are not okay, indicate to your husband and tell your husband when you will be okay. Normally, you have to ensure that sex is available to your husband always, or to your husband always. Because when sex is not available, it is not a good thing for him. Bear in mind that by the time you are 40 years upward, sex should be available every time you demand for it because you need it for your well-being. Anybody with me? Are you people getting something here tonight? This class.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Thank you guys for listening. What is September sex? September sex is sex at OH. Okay. I've always remind my wife that by 70 years we will still be at top form in this activity. 70 years, 75. We are not going to just pull it out like that. Okay, so that's the way it is. September sex is sex at OH. If you hear anybody talk about that, you know. And then now we have what we call, what is Carpenter's syndrome in marriage. Carpenter's syndrome in marriage is what occurs between a couple where the man do not do foreplay, where the man meets the wife and there's no foreplay, go straight to action. Just like carpenter does in kang, kang, kok, 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 that's how the man does, and that is over. That's over. Okay, we call carpenter syndrome in marriage. It is experienced within couples where they do not do foreplay. They do go straight. Okay? Please, I want to apologize. I was going to use words that may piss you up tonight. Okay? See me more as a marriage counselor. Don't see me as a Reverend Amos Ben Kebe. Don't see me like that. See me as a marriage and family counselor. See me also as a sexologist tonight. Then you are going to listen to a lot of things. Okay, if you start seeing me here and laughing and saying that, oh, I did like this, then you will not hear me at all. And don't say I spoil you. You spoiled yourself before coming here. Allow me free. What is war gecko syndrome amongst couple? This is an illness amongst couple that is definitely with you guys. Some of you guys who are married, you actually have this illness. And what is the illness? That anytime you guys have problems, you sleep opposite to each other on bed. That is all called carpenter syndrome. When daddy is angry, he turns his back from mommy. When mommy is angry, she turns her back from that day. So they sleep like the couple on like this couple on the screen. Okay. So please, it's not accepted to you for you to do that. How can I enlarge my male organ? You know, if you watch a lot of Nigerian movies and sport, you will realize something that happens in Nigeria. It's always like in films. They always like make you feel like if you have a small penis, you are not a man. And then they keep making you feel like you should enlarge your penis. That is not correct. Whatever thing the Lord has given you is enough. Is enough for you. What you need to enlarge is your brain. Because sex in marriage actually is 80% is in the mind, then 20% is in the organs. So if you choose not to enlarge your brain, you will be worried about your penis size. Penis size does not matter. Women don't actually have a problem with any kind of penis they receive in them. What they want is that you should welcome them, you should love them, you should be with them, you should admire them. Then they cannot be able to handle and give it to you without any problem. As long as it's good for them. Okay? Don't be deceived by they always say yam size. That's a lie. Fake. Don't be deceived. Because every day you are going to step out there and say, I want a yam size penis. But at the same time, you will notice that your life is the other way around. Because the yam size has given rise to unfaithfulness, and your life is in the other side of everything. So enjoy what the Lord has given to you. If you are here, you are married, that which the Lord has given to you is okay, whether it is small, whether it is long, whether it is bent, whether it is how. It is the glory of the Lord. Use it. The Lord made it for you. And the Lord brought you and this guy for everything. Those of you who are here and your women, your wives are in diaspora, some of your wives, your husbands are in different towns, please remind me at the end of the day, let me tell you what to do. Okay, let me tell you what to do. Okay. Fly to Jerusalem. What does it mean? Fly to Jerusalem is a concept we use in marriage counseling that simply means I want to have sex. So if you tell your wife that tonight my flight takes up at 10 p.m., your wife should understand that you are talking about sex in marriage. You are talking about you want to have sex with her. That's what we call flight to Jerusalem. And we have what is a refractory period. When you hear the word refractory period in sex, in marital sex, what does that mean? Is the time that your penis will be ready for another sexual intercourse. I want to advise you people here, if you are 40 above, be very careful. Because those who are between 15 and 20, you'll notice that I think those people, by nature, we don't even allow them to be exposed to sexual intercourse. So, but what is happening that a young man who is 15 years to 20 years, the penis, if that young man have sex now, in the next 5 minutes, the penis will stand, or 20 minutes, the penis will stand again for another sexual intercourse. Are you getting me very clearly? So, but when you reach 20, it augments, it becomes 20 to 29. But when you are 40 to 45 to 50, by the time you have sex, you succeed in having sex now, and you reach your orgasm period, the next thing that happens is that you find yourself having the desire to have sex one day after. When we got married, when my wife and I got married, we used to pepper like 3 times a night. But beloved in the Lord, this time around, when I struggled to go one, we call it one round, I sleep like a baby. We know that they get there. Now only around 2 days. Why? We are choked up with work. To be frank with you, we are choked up with work. There is no way. But then, when I go out from Yaoundé and I want to rest, I realize that I can have sex every day. But that is not what happened when you are busy doing your work. So the refractory period grows, it reduces with age. And please, don't hear these small children that say that there's 5 rounds a night and you are trying it, you will not survive. Dear men who are old, who are already getting older, you cannot survive. You cannot survive. I want to plead with you. Don't try to get to territories where you cannot. Leave it to young people of 20s. Not us who are already 40 something. Don't risk your life. Okay, don't risk your life. There are many ways of having sex I will tell you tonight.